The Super Bowl halftime performance is the biggest stage in the world, catapulting anyone who steps onto it to the forefront of the cultural dialogue. The NFL has recently embraced the halftime show as a chance to connect with audiences outside of the typical beer and chips crowd, and the results have frequently been fantastic. For many years, the halftime performance has provided fans with the opportunity to discover the appeal of some of the biggest performers in the world. Some struggle on the big stage, while others succeed. Only a select few prosper. Let's consider a few titans. Honorable mention, Katy Perry, Super Bowl 49, 2015. The choreography for Katy Perry's performance was so breathtakingly bizarre that it would have made the list even if she had remained silent while riding in on a massive golden tiger robot thing and walking through dancing chess pieces. However, when Left Shark showed there and started dancing to a beat that only it could hear, everything went up a notch. Below are the 10 greatest super performances of all times. 10. Michael Jackson, 1993 Super Bowl 27. The Super Bowl halftime performance required a significant infusion of celebrity power in the early 1990s since it had become boring and stupid. Enter Michael Jackson, who, while being a few years past his prime in the 1980s, was still able to dominate a stadium to the point where he could remain motionless for a long time before the music even began. Although he began with Billie Jean, Jackson wasted time with insignificant filler like Heal the World when practically anything else from his repertoire would have hit harder. This was an example of Jackson's worst stagecraft tendencies. Although the audience drowns out Jackson in the awful mix, it was a vast improvement over the ostentatious talent show nonsense of the previous 25 years and set the way for superstars to own halftime. 9. Lady Gaga, Super Bowl 51, 2017. Gaga, in all her glorious Broadway robot space alien weirdness, led a pulsing cast of thousands through a frantic, chaotic explosion of color, flame, and pure exuberance. It takes real courage and presence to command the Super Bowl halftime show all by yourself. 8. Madonna, Super Bowl 46, 2012. Madonna was among a group of halftime show performers who were a few generations past their peak in popular culture, but unlike some of them, Madonna decided to stage an entire over-the-top extravaganza of garish costumes and spectacular dance numbers, drenched in sexual innuendo that sent parents across the nation scurrying for the remote. In addition, MIA turned off the camera in a foolish act of defiance that probably cost her some money in the undisclosed settlement she struck with the NFL. 7. Jennifer Lopez and Shakira, Super Bowl 54, 2020. For a brief time, the NFL primarily catered to its older male fan base by playing cozy classic rock songs to evoke fond memories. The NFL can now strive to expand the tent with greater spectacle because those days are over, and it is aware that it has already won over those fans, as evidenced by this spectacular, frantic ode to Latin culture. Nobody really paid much attention to their guacamole during this halftime show between Shakira's hips and Jennifer Lopez's timeless dancing athleticism. They also included some Led Zeppelin for the traditional rockers. 6. Diana Ross, Super Bowl 30, 1996. Admittedly, you'd be justified in questioning Diana Ross' suitability for a halftime performance in the 1990s. However, this particular performance set the bar for spectacle, with Miss Ross changing into several outfits, including a huge golden dress, before literally taking off while singing while hanging out the window of a chopper that landed on the field. That is how you leave, right there. 5. U2, Super Bowl 36, 2002. As they're all too happy to tell you, U2 has always had the right intentions. Following the September 11th attacks, it was an odd decision to have an Irish band perform at the first Super Bowl. The uplifting chords of Where the Streets Have No Name, as well as the jubilant crowd, provided an odd contrast to the names of those who perished in the attacks. But when rock is at its most sublime, like U2 was on this night, it can be a truly spiritual experience. 4. Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, and Dr. Dre, Super Bowl 56, 2022. Dr. Dre was given the keys to the home by the NFL, and all he did was throw one of the greatest parties in the history of the sport. Dr. Dre and his team created a succinct history of hip-hop, interspersed anti-authority sentiments with the beats, and dressed the whole thing up in one of the Super Bowl's most opulently garish sets ever. The fact that everyone on stage seemed to be in the moment and acting with easy calm set this halftime show apart from the insane over-the-top halftime performances of years past. 1 to remember. 3. Bruce Springsteen, 2009 Super Bowl 43. Everyone recalls the slide in which Bruce fell crotch-first into your living room, but this is what it was followed by: the best rock concert to ever perform during the Super Bowl. Springsteen wrung out the crowd and left them gasping for air. For a man used to having the audience in the palm of his hand for 4 hours, 12 minutes was nothing. A few explosions and the calming influence of rock and roll were all the boss needed to rule the night. 2. Beyoncé, Super Bowl 47, 2013. The best occasionally serve as a reminder of why they are the best. The night was Beyoncé's to do just that. Old-school NFL fans treated to a glimpse of the Heat Queen Bey could bring got their eyeballs singed. These fans hadn't listened to new music since David Lee Roth left Van Halen. On the grandest platform possible, a performer at the top of her game. It's understandable why the lights went out in the third quarter, since Beyoncé stole the electricity. The benchmark by which every halftime show will be measured, now and forever, is Prince's performance at Super Bowl 41 in 2007, and nothing has ever come close till now. On the grandest platform in the world, the consummate showman delivered brilliance with each note. Prince created a wonderful gumbo out of funk, rock, blues, and even marching bands, which was completed with an iconic Purple Rain guitar solo. And while doing so, it began to rain. No doubt. The halftime show has never been better than this, and it never will be. Rihanna will perform the halftime show's opening number this year. Will she possess the qualifications to make this list? We'll discover it in due time. Be sure to smash that subscribe button in order to eavesdrop daily on American celebrity gossip.